Hello and welcome back to the lead pile. In this video, the postman's been. It's time for another unboxing and review as we look at Turner Miniatures 6mm Napoleonic range, and these have been printed and sent to us by Narad Games on eBay. So let's get a look. So as I said, these have been sent to us by, sent to us, I've paid for them and then they have been sent to us by Narad Games on eBay, and it's a nice simple box, unsuspecting. You wouldn't think there were miniatures in here, certainly not hundreds of miniatures in here, which is great because it means my wife doesn't complain. Oh, I've just bought a small book about gardening. Fantastic. So thank you for the discreet postage, but let's get a look-see, shall we? So, got our cutting tool, and oh, lovely. Hopefully I've not just cut anybody's legs off. I like that sound. Nope, this side. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. So we've got straight away everything individually bagged and labelled. I like that. 6mm is pretty hard to see what things are, so it's helpful when you get a nice label like that on it. So if you're buying from Narad Games, you're going to get things labelled, so that's reassuring. So what do we have? Well, here we've got some artillery. We've got a battery here, and what we'll do is we'll just label things out. So one battery there. Here we go, some dragoons here. So that's 1815, so Waterloo dragoons. That's some more dragoons. 2 packs of those. And just some more. Oh, some light dragoons as opposed to heavy dragoons. Okay, good to know. That's 2 packs of light and some heavy. And we've also got some heavy dragoons as well here in a lighter resin. You see that there compared to chaps here. See them with the bicorn hats, and then these guys in helmet, and then these guys in shako. Okay, so there's cavalry. That looks like all the cavalry. And then we've got a pack here of their British HQ. I love that, look at that. The chap sat down at a desk with a pen. Proper old-fashioned pen as well, ink quill. Those look cool. You can tell which one's Wellington because he's got a bloody big nose. Okay, British line, the meat in the middle of the sandwich of British Napoleonics. Scum of the earth.
They're the salt of England, Arthur.
Scum. Nothing but beggars and scoundrels. All of them.
There we go, but well disciplined. We know you can fire 3 rounds a minute, but can you stand? That was, of course, Sean Bean, if there was any doubt. Now, not a Yorkshire accent for these guys, because these are Highlanders. Whoa, look at that. Enough to scare butter back to milk. I'm showing you these, but I should really open and have a look, but getting carried away. So British Highlanders looks to be the only set of British Highlanders. So as you can see in these packs, now I don't know if these are standard issue or if this is just because I got these off of a job lot on eBay, but we seem to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 strips of 4 guys per pack, and that seems to be the same for everything. It's just, I know this has to be 1 unit because it's the only bag of Highlanders. So if you're comparing them to Bacchus, where you get I think 96 figures in a pack, here we seem to be, well, they're at least bagged in groups of 24. So if you want to replicate your Bacchus units, you'll know how much you need to order. Now, more British line, fairly standard. So that's 1, 2, 3, that's a lot of British line. As you can see, it's all British line, although we've got a slight difference with these ones, because this is pen, which I'm assuming means peninsula. And of course they're in black resin, so it's hard to see. So the first thing I'm going to do for this review, yeah, that's all just line, is let's look at the infantry. So let's look at the Peninsula British line next to some normal British line. Let's have a look at what we're getting. So, use this box. In the British line pack, unbagging. Of course, I'm getting the end of it. There we go. Now, resin prints, not metal miniatures. So there is a risk of detail breaking off. Bayonets in particular are at risk of snapping off. Now, although they're not exactly compacted in here with bubble wrap or foam or whatever, because of the sheer number of packs and the small box, nothing seems to have suffered any damage. I don't know if that's standard packaging from this eBay company, or this eBay chap, or chapess, but normally I would expect some sort of packaging in here as well. As it is, these have survived, so great. It's obviously working. But let's have a look. So like I said, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Christ. Right, let's have a look at them. Bring the torch in, bring the light. Okay, let's get the zoom in as well. So, I'm just going to focus. They're nice. They are very nice. I don't know if it's focusing properly, but there is a lot of detail there. Now, bayonets have a bit of give to them, like the whole rifle does, so it's not immediately going to snap off, which is good. The actual model itself is fairly dense and compact there. These little bits on top of the hat as well, there we go. There's a lot of detail on that model, which is going to come off, going to come up very well as soon as you get some paints and washes on there. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. Trousers, crossbelts, rifle, lovely. Okay, and here we have 4 more guys with the flagpoles. Now these are a little bit more flimsy, but again, there's good give there. They're not going to snap off. I like that, because I have 3D models before where you so much as breathe on the damn pike or whatever flagpole and it goes flying and you never see it ever again. It's gone. You know, the borrowers are using it as a bloody maypole and dancing around it. So very nice. Very nice. You can even see sideburns on the figures there. Lovely, absolutely lovely. And then command strip. So then we've got our Sergeant Harper. No, Hakeswell with the spear and the donkey, isn't it? For those who know the Sharp series. We've got our officer, got our drummer boy, or drummer man, he's taller than the bloody officer. Or maybe the officer's a young man, who knows. Very nice. And so if we compare these to the British pen, okay, printed in a different coloured resin. I'm not sure if it's a different actual resin or if it's just different colouring. But you can see the detail a bit better in the black, actually, funnily enough. So, the headgear is different. I think these are stovepipe shakos, the tall cylindrical ones, whereas these are more of the like squat hats. The Belgic shako, are they? We've also got a bit of difference on the uniform. The shoulder. Oh, I'm forgetting all the actual names. Yeah, the hats and the jackets differ, but they still look great. Still square up pretty well. Faces are heads are a bit chunkier, but overall lovely. And that's them compared to Bacchus. So again, bit fatter. And then here we have them compared to commission figurines. So again, a bit fatter still. Okay. But they would work perfectly fine. You're not going to have any issues on a table with them. Great. Okay, and the turn of the Highlanders. I can get into them. Oh, lovely. Bit harder again to make out the detail on the camera because of the colour, but it's there. And look, different sculpts, each one of them as well. The variation on them. And again, for comparison with Bacchus Infantry, a tad taller, expect that from Highlanders. Yep, love the jubbly. Really nice in the backs. Really nice models. Soon, you know, it's amazing what 3D printing can do now. Really nice. Yes, they are a bit, you know, flimsy, but that's good because that means they're not brittle, they're not going to break. So, really nice Highlanders. Okay, now the cavalry. Here is our 1815 British Light Dragoons. And you can see we've got a banner bearer there, and we've got a bugler as well. So let's get a look at one of the actual chaps up close. And here we go. Okay, so a little bit of support still in there, but that's not too bad at all. I like this horse. I like the details there. Again, 6mm. Look, the size of my thumbnail. You know, it's amazing what you can do with. I was going to say what you can do with 3D printing. It's amazing what you can do with a talented sculptor. Now again, these are Turner miniatures, Henry Turner. Really, really nice models. Doing amazing things for the hobby. Look at that. That's really good. Yep, I like that. Look at the detailing there on the saddle, the reins. Dynamic as well with a sabre raised high. Really nice. So that's our British Light Dragoons, 1815. Heavy Dragoons. Can't get this Agrax Earthshade, that cannot wash off. Should have been painting before I did a video, eh? Okay. What do we have? Yep, so banner pole, helmet now. Oh, look at this, look up there. This is insane level of detail. Look at that. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The face, the detail. I mean, I'm not going to do it justice when I'm going to paint it. It feels a shame. It almost looks better unpainted. But that's amazing. You can have fun with washes. Bright colours, washes. It'll pick out all that detail. Swordsman. Really do charge. Absolutely brilliant. So tiny. Loving that. Amazing. Okay. Should have tipped them all out now. Again, no breakages. So they're using the right sort of resin here at Narad Games. Now, heavy dragoons again, not the 1815 variant. And on these chaps you can see they've got the bicorn hat. Look at that, even got the slit down the middle there. Whoa, these are just great. Crossbelt, saddle detail, horse's tail, barding on the actual mane. Amazing, look at that detail. You could upscale these easily. 10, 15, probably even 28mm, and they'd look great. Amazing detail. Okay, so the guns now. There we go, you can see lots of detailing on the limbers, all the metal elements, detailing rivets and bolts and everything, and the actual gun itself, based as well for us. And we've got the crew. What do we have here? Chap there, he's either holding his hands together politely waiting for a bus, or he's maybe holding a cannonball. And we've got a guy here, whoa, looking important, holding a stick. That's of course the lighter. He's going to set the damn thing off. The detail as well, that's amazing. The camera does not do it justice, I tell you. And got a guy here with a bucket of water, pail of water, and I don't know, something under his arm there. Bible maybe? Saying a wee prayer. Another one of them. And there's some guys holding the actual stick as well in here. To clean out that. Oh, there's our officer. Yep, got his hand raised. The detail on the fingers. Oh, wow. 6mm, guys. And there we go, ramrod. Lovely. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you now is the HQ. So, straight away, important. You need someone pointing. You always need someone pointing. That means they're important, telling other people what to do. So, that's really nice. Oh, come on. Focusing on him. It's not doing it justice. It's great. He's got his fancy uniform on. Got his sword by his side. Really nice. Now you can upgrade to man pointing on a horse. Must be important because not only is he pointing, he's on a horse, so he's higher up. Very nice, like that. Now, got a man in a tricorn hat and a stick, so he's both old and important. It looks like putting from the Revolutionary Wars in America. May have snuck in here. Or he's just someone who's pulled on his own old uniform because he's important. A bit like Corporal Jones in Dad's Army putting on his World War I uniform. Now we've got Big Hat sits at table, waiting on his breakfast. Nothing on that table. He's a classic middle management chap. No work in front of him. He likes to look important. He's holding his hand up to his chin. Thinking. That's what he spent his time doing. He spent his time thinking. That's very important. Important work. Got another officer. Stood on his horse, surveying the battlefield. It's a nice big horse as well. That was a big horse, not a big arse. Now this is good. An officer holding parchment, holding a letter, orders, something which is important, of course. At this time, they didn't have walkie-talkies. Orders were passed by word of mouth or by written order on paper signed by your commanding officer. So it's good to see that. And again, we have an officer here physically handing over some more orders. I really like that detail. Here we have an officer looking through his scope, surveying the battle. And we have a big gaffer. He's taking his hat off. Christ, he is important. And he's got his quill and he's writing. So yeah, lovely selection. Okay, well, there you have it. 6mm Napoleonics from Turner Miniatures, sculpted by Turner Miniatures, and printed on eBay from Narad Games. My review: very nice sculpts, very well detailed, even got buttons, everything on it. If anything, too detailed for 6mm, if such a thing was possible. They would be easily scalable for 10mm miniatures, even 15. They're really nice, good crisp details, well printed, using nice flexible resin. And I cannot wait to get these base coated and get some paint on them. I will do that in an upcoming video. Again, compare them to Bacchus. They are chunkier, but then, Adler, they're chunkier as well than Bacchus, so it's a style thing. But considering these have been printed with a 3D printer, then I think they're just incredible. Really, really nice. So, yep, I recommend Turner Miniatures. Again, this isn't a sponsored video. I have paid for these with my own hard-earned gold coins. I've taken the kink shilling and spent it on toys. I really like these guys. I think they've done a really good job. There's a lot of unique individual poses in amongst them as well. And they've been printed with, like I say, nice resin. So I could just blather on for ages about them. I'm looking at all these other ones here, but I'm not going to. I've said my piece. I think they're really nice. We'll see what they're like when they get base coated and some paint on them. Although I'm slightly worried that my painting isn't going to do them justice. But yeah, if you're considering them, definitely up there with the other 6mm manufacturers. Turner Miniatures. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll see you again on the next one.